Right, hello guys, and welcome to today's video. In today's video, we are back. Yes, today we are doing another class setup, and today's class setup is for the AK-74U. I'm pretty sure it's called something else like the KASTOV-74U, I'm pretty sure. This gun is absolutely insane, and the class setup for this will be at the end of the video, so feel free, it's up to you. You don't have to sit here and watch the gameplay and also listen to me talk about kind of something else that I'm going to talk about today, which is I'm going to kind of do like my own like thoughts and opinions on Modern Warfare 2, because it's been out for a little while, you know, it's been about for a week and a bit now, and I kind of want to give my review of it. You know, I've had some of you come into my streams or even putting comments down below in videos like whether Modern Warfare 2 is worth it or not. So I thought I'll do that in this video as well. But yes, you're going to be seeing a KASTOV-74U, AK-74U, whatever you want to call it, in the background. A nice little gameplay. Get a double chopper gunner in ground war. And just showing off the class, really. Like, the 74U is absolutely insane. It is the best gun in the game, in my personal opinion. I know some people might say the M4, the AUG, you got the DMRs are pretty good. Snipers are crazy good at the moment, especially the SPR. Hopefully that thing catches a nerf because it's crazy overpowered. But 74U is absolutely nuts. It's a weird one that we've all known the 74U to be an SMG, but it feels like an SMG with the power of an assault rifle. So class setup at the end of the video. Again, feel free, you can skip to the end and, you know, check the class setup. It will be right at the end of the video. But for this part of the video, or whilst the gameplay is going on in the background where you watch the double chopper gunner here in ground war, I'm going to talk about my thoughts and opinions on Modern Warfare 2 so far. Like I said, I've played it for a bit now. I've personally, like straight out of the gate, I'm just going to say it, I've been enjoying the game. And I'm quite pleasantly surprised, to be honest. Because, so, put it this way, guys. So I'm not endorsed by Call of Duty or Activision or anything like that. So my opinion isn't bought or paid out. You know, there's no, here you go, Taz, here's 50 quid and say Modern Warfare 2 is good. I genuinely like Modern Warfare 2. I have a lot of fun with it. Don't get me wrong, there are some issues that could be fixed, and, you know, I'll discuss that in a bit. But as an overall opinion, I enjoy Modern Warfare 2. And the reason I'm quite surprised by this, I am one of those people, you know, you're either a fan, it feels like a lot of people in Call of Duty, or who play Call of Duty, are a fan of one of two genres. You're either a fan of Treyarch games, or you're a fan of Infinity Ward games. And I am typically someone who leans towards the, you know, the Treyarch games. Your Black Ops 1s, your Black Ops 2, Black Ops 3, Black Ops 4. I've enjoyed all those Black Ops titles, right? Then you have Infinity Ward. Now, I didn't play the original Modern Warfare 2 in that. I kind of started, what was the first one I played? I think Ghost. Ghost was the first one that I played. And from there, I kind of never got the feel to enjoy Infinity Ward games. I've never enjoyed an Infinity Ward game. Even Modern Warfare, the one before this, I played it a lot, but I couldn't say I personally enjoyed that game a lot. So I was expecting kind of similar things, you know, something to just feel. I was expecting the game to be like good and popular, which it is, but not to be something that I necessarily enjoy myself. However, I've been quite pleasantly surprised by this game. It's kind of like fixed some of the issues I think Infinity Ward has had problems with. Now, don't get me wrong, I think gameplay aspects do lean towards being friendly to new players, which I get what they're going with, but sometimes it's a bit overkill, and I think that does happen a little bit with this game, but I'll discuss that more. But as far as like this game, like visually, the graphics look amazing. The coloring is, like, in my opinion, quite just perfect. Like, it feels vibrant. That's something I always had a problem with Infinity War games. It's like being able to see. It feels like misty, or something's just like blocking my vision. It makes it feel like a struggle to see, you know. I have to squint my eyes and look at like someone who's like 50 miles away. But in this game, I don't really have that problem too much. Obviously, I'm playing Ground War as well, and Ground War is obviously, you know, huge maps in that. But I don't feel like I have a massive issue seeing people at those further distances, or if someone's sitting in a dark corner. I don't feel like I have that problem where someone in a dark corner is going to give me a problem. So, yeah, visually, the game looks amazing. Gameplay wise, like, we'll talk about like movement and gunplay. I feel like that's two things that come up quite a bit in the community, like especially with movement. The gunplay is great. I like the way the weapons feel. There's some of them have a bit of kick to it, you know. I feel like the movement, this is the one which will, you know, I'll kind of talk about more, is people have a lot to say about the movement in this game. I personally don't have too much of a problem with it, okay? I am so glad that slide cancelling has gone. Slide cancelling was a broken mechanic, whether or not you think it was skill or not. It was absolutely a broken mechanic. It was a mechanic used to break someone's camera, so you basically could shoot them without them seeing you. It was completely busted. It didn't matter whether someone was, you know, messing around their controller and, you know, hitting all the YYs and the hitting the B dash and all this crazy stuff to do the slide cancels. I'm sorry, but slide cancelling was just a completely broken mechanic that shouldn't have been in the game in the first place, and I'm glad it's gone. I'm glad they've actually patched out the game. You know, I think people are still trying to find ways around it, but they'll get patched out as well. And it's a traditional Call of Duty. It's your pre-aim, you hold your head glitch, you move about the map. It's great, I like it. There seems to be a bit more like thought process instead of just hitting your slide cancel around a corner and hoping you catch someone and, you know, break their camera, essentially. The only thing I'll say is like even with like other things as well. So like the people complain about the actual aim down sight times and that, the sprint out times and stuff. Again, I don't have too much of a problem. Sometimes it feels annoying, I'll say that. But what I will say is I just think it's something that people got to get used to, that this is a Call of Duty where you've got to slow down a little bit. You've got to be more methodical. You've got to think about what you're doing. You've got to be more ready to pre-aim instead of running around like a loose chicken, like a headless chicken, and, you know, trying to kill people by just running and gunning. You can still run and gun in this game. It's just you've got to have more of a thought process of when to have your sights up and when not to have your sights up. So I think the complaints there aren't too valid. I think one thing that I do think is a little bit overboard, like I said, I do think most of the things here done with the movement, done with the aim down sight times, etc., are done to make it easier for those who, for instance, like this guy here who kills me, for instance, he's laying down, he's got his trophies. It's to make the game easier for people who, you know, might only play an hour a day, 2 hours a day. It is a more friendly game to those who are new to Call of Duty or, you know, aren't so good at Call of Duty and they want them to try and get a kill, etc. I get that. The one thing that I think is a bit overkill is the footsteps. I think footsteps are a bit too powerful in certain ways, and not having a ninja perk is a bit of a weird one, because the argument is that like it should be a perk, which I absolutely agree with. It should be a perk, not a field upgrade. I think it would change the game drastically. I think the one thing that needs changing in Modern Warfare 2 right now is genuinely the footsteps. Either the footsteps themselves need to be quieter to the point, like, yes, you can hear them, but because you can be heard walking, you know? And even crouch walking, you can still be heard. And even using dead silence, you can still be heard. There's not actually a full... like, I'm pretty sure the only way to fully be silent is to crouch walk with dead silence. But that's not the point of using dead silence. It's to be able to run and effectively rush. But you can still be heard using dead silence. It makes a noise as well when you activate the thing. So they have tried to kill that aspect of being able to rush around and shoot people in the back, which I don't understand. It kind of goes against their logic, which they say is to include every play style. But that does effectively ruin the ability to rush and be silent and be like off the minimap, etc. Even at the moment, there's a glitch, I'm pretty sure, with Ghost and firing a weapon that is not suppressed. You do appear on the minimap, even though you are using Ghost. Like, it's a weird one. So, but that's to go along with, you know, the few bugs. It might be a bug, it might be a change on purpose. I don't know, because there's a few bugs in this game at the moment that are going quite rampant as well. But overall, I like the gameplay. I like the movement. I enjoy the game. I find gunfights to be quite fun, quite challenging, but fun at the same time. I ultimately think just the biggest problem is the dead silence mode. I feel like this game would be in a near perfect like gameplay and movement, you know, situation, or, you know, the mechanics would work so well if just the footsteps were a little bit quieter, or there was dead silence as a perk. And more likely, I'd say the footsteps being quieter is more likely of a patch that we'd get if they decide to do so. So overall, I'd say those things are great. Graphics, gameplay, movement, the way gunfights are, the way you have to play this game, I think it's great. Other things, maps. Maps are a bit, I don't know. I'm not really sure. It feels like some maps play well for certain things, but not everything. So at the moment, I've played a bit of Search and Destroy, which, by the way, I will have some Search and Destroy gameplays coming, because I've got some really good games with the M4, and I'm working on like getting some with the 74U and that. So Search and Destroy will be here on the channel as well. I'm trying to mix it up a bit this year. I'm trying to do Ground War, maybe some TDM, Domination, Search and Destroy, you name it. But a lot of the maps play quite well for Search and Destroy. Some of them don't play so well for Search and Destroy. Some of them play really well for, like, you know, parts of the Ground War maps are like cut up and made into smaller maps. Some of them play well, some of them don't. I do think there's a bit of a laziness there, which was, you know, to make more maps for the game, which is a bit of a problem at the moment as well, because some of the maps are looking at either being removed or have copyright issues and stuff, so that's a bit of an iffy one at the moment. So I'm hoping they have a plan for this, because it looks like we could lose some maps, which should be quite interesting. We've already lost the museum map so far and currently don't have that. Speaking of which as well, we'll talk about bugs and glitches as I saw there. The VTOL. There's a lot of bugs and glitches in this game. That is one thing I'll say. If you are looking to buy this game, right now in its current state, it does have a few bugs in that need fixing. They already did a patch to fix a few of these bugs in that. However, some of the more notorious ones are still at large. I believe the Riot Shield VTOL glitch is still currently active in the game, and it's not just the VTOL that can cause this, it's the support helo, it's the chopper gunner. You shoot someone with a Riot Shield with any of those streaks, they're going to get God mode, and a lot of people are trying to do it. I see the Riot Shields coming out every time there's a VTOL. I see people trying to do it all the time. Obviously, you guys may or may not have seen the video that I did. Yes, I did it once just to showcase to you guys that this is happening, to be aware of it. I personally don't run the VTOL. Yes, I'm running the chopper gunner, but I am trying to be... I'm trying to be a bit careful about when I shoot people with it. I'll know when someone's using a Riot Shield, because obviously they're just not going to die. And I hope I don't mess that up one day and get someone to have like God mode against me, because otherwise I'm going to be in a bit of a situation there. But there's a few bugs in that, you know, a lot of people argue at the moment shouldn't be in a AAA game at launch. And I get that, 100% agree with that. But the problem is with gaming in general nowadays, you see it a lot with games. You see a lot of games coming out unfinished, not ready, sort of almost like we do the beta, we do the 2 weeks of beta testing, and the game still comes out in almost like a beta form, and we're still doing continuous beta testing for the actual live version of the game. Which is frustrating as a gamer, you know? You want the game to come out and just be perfect, like we did years ago. Alright, they weren't absolutely perfect, but you don't get the bugs and glitches that you do nowadays. Like nowadays, it seems like a constant thing of just constant bugs and glitches every 5 seconds. So, ultimately, there are bugs and glitches. That is one thing I'll warn you. But I don't think they're enough to like put you off the game if you're someone looking to buy the game. I don't think they're enough to put you off buying the game, and I do think those bugs and glitches will be fixed. It's just the amount of time it will take. And like I said, the other things we've seen in the past is when they've done updates before, sometimes they, you know, may mess up the updates. They might break something else in the meantime, which I hope won't be the case. I hope this year they actually get the bug fixes like right first time, you know, and then we just go from one bug fix to another. Because you got to remember, this game's going to be out for 2 years as well. So I'm hoping what will happen is we'll get to that point where the game reaches almost a perfect point after about, I don't know, normally Call of Duties get quite good in their like final months, which is normally the worst time, because that's when the game starts to die down, the hype for it's a bit less. But hopefully they get to that point, and then we'll have a perfect COD to play, or almost perfect COD to play for another year. And then we can just add things to it, like new maps and guns, which they're obviously going to do. You know, I think it's November 16th we get our first like season, so we'll get, you know, the battle pass, maps, well, maybe new maps added to the game, new weapons, etc. Loads of exciting things. But overall, guys, I'd say personally, you know, from what I've played so far, and you guys can go to my streams and see it as well. I've enjoyed the games. I've enjoyed streaming this game. I like playing this game. I'll tell you what, guys, actually, overall, like, you guys will get this if you're someone who's played Call of Duty in the past. You know, when you like your Black Ops 2s or the Modern Warfare 2s, and you remember not being able to get off the game because you enjoyed it so much. This game gives me that vibe. I don't know if I'm the only person who's like that. I don't know if it's because of the camo challenges or something, or the way you have to level up weapons and stuff. I do like the progression a little bit. It's a bit iffy with, you know, leveling up a weapon to get another attachment for a different weapon, etc. That's a bit iffy, I think. But I do like that I'm forced to kind of use different guns. It forces other people to use different guns. I like the camo challenges. They're easier to get things like gold in that. It feels rewarding. It feels like I can hop on, play for an hour, and possibly get myself gold. I don't have to spend 4 to 8 hours to 12 hours grinding out one gun to level 70 and getting gold camo for it, to then do it all over again for another weapon. I like that. I think that's absolutely fantastic, and plays to those people who don't have that time of like 4 to 5+ hours to be able to play the game. So that's another thing. If you guys are one of those people who doesn't get the most time in the world to actually sit there and play games like this, I think this game, you know, how would I say, like, helps you out a bit. It gives you that chance to feel like you can come on and actually do something in the little time that you do have. So I think that's fantastic as well. But overall, I do have that vibe of an older Call of Duty, like a Black Ops 2 or a Black Ops 3 to me, that I would get on the game. But when I'm on the game, I'm gonna keep playing and I'll find something else to do. I'll want to get a gameplay, I'll want to level up the gun, I'll want to get gold on something, I'll do something crazy. Like, it has that vibe of not wanting to get off the game. It could be the honeymoon phase. My opinion might change in a month, it might change in 2 months, it might change by next year. I might think this game is the worst game ever. But right now, as my strong thoughts and opinions, I think this game is pretty good. Is it worth the money right now? Maybe not. Maybe not with the bugs and glitches, but if you're someone who believes that, you know, Infinity Ward will fix these bugs and that, which I do believe they will, I think they'll get on top of it very quickly. I think this game's well worth it. I do think this game is quite a lot of fun, you know, and suits like all people playing this game, you know? Like I said, they don't really cater to all play styles, I'd say. I'm pretty sure it's more lean towards more than the other, but it's not impossible. Modern Warfare felt pretty impossible when it came to certain playstyles, but this game feels like every playstyle is possible, even if some are harder to play than the others. So yeah, that's kind of my review of Modern Warfare 2. I hope you enjoyed the gameplay in the background as well. You know, a nice little double chopper gunner with the AK-74U, and we will be moving on to the class setup as well, so feel free, if you haven't already, skip to that part, you know, to stick around and I'll share with you guys the class setup for the 74U. It's nothing too crazy, it's nothing too major. It's actually quite a good early class build as well if you do get the 74U unlocked, because you do have to do that as well, obviously, but definitely get the 74U unlocked. Easily the best gun in the game, in my opinion, or at least best automatic rifle in the game. But yeah, overall, is Modern Warfare 2 worth the money? In my personal opinion, yes. I would say this game is pretty good, and I think it's only going to get better. And I think there's just a lot of things to do that make the game overall just fun. So yeah, I'm going to leave you with the rest of the gameplay. I will cut to the class setup at the end as well and talk to you guys about the class setup and what you want to run on this. But I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Make sure to stick around for the class setup. And then, yeah, I'll go from there. So I'll catch you guys in the class setup. Hello guys, and welcome back. Here it is, the class setup section of the video. If you guys made it to the end of the video, or if you're one of those people and did want to hear my boring old voice talking about a little review of Modern Warfare 2, which if you did miss that part and you did want to hear a review of Modern Warfare 2, go back to the beginning, feel free to watch through. I do talk about a few things of Modern Warfare 2 and like my overall thoughts and opinions on it. But if you guys just skipped to the end and wanted to see the 74U class, here it is on your screen right now. This is it. This is all you need, in my opinion, to make the best 74U class setup in the game. I will bear in mind that this is probably more of an early build, and I say early build because obviously you've got to level up quite a few guns, I'm pretty sure, to actually get the 74U. But as you can see, I don't have every single attachment unlocked, so I can't really go through and, you know, test every single thing. However, as far as I'm aware, this is a pretty good build. Again, if you guys don't know, you don't really need to kit out guns with loads and loads of attachments, to be honest, because a lot of the time you're doing more harm than good putting on the 5 attachments, 4 attachments, etc. And I find this gun to work quite well with just the 3 attachments. I haven't tuned any of these either. These are all absolutely bare bones. I haven't messed with the tuning. Again, my class setups might change in like a few weeks time or something. You know, I might tune some things out. I might have all the guns leveled up. But this is it. This is the 74U class. So a short tack 330mm. This is the best barrel. I'm sure you've seen other class setups too, but this is the best barrel by far. It's a weird one because a lot of the time when you see things like losing damage range and that, you're like, oh no, I don't want to do that. But making this thing have better recoil control and better bullet velocity is a lot better than the damage range. You don't really need damage range on this. Think of this as the old 74U. In every other Call of Duty, what is a 74U? It is an SMG. This gun is the SMG AR hybrid of this game. You can kill people at quite far ranges with this, because it's quite accurate. It doesn't have the greatest damage at distance. You will feel like it's a little bit of a hitmarker machine. Things where like the M4 and that and the SCAR might do a little bit better. But the 74U is all round just amazing. And like I said, it is the best gun in the game. I use the RF Crown 50 as well for the horizontal recoil. Again, I've always said this before, like previous class ups from years back, from like Modern Warfare to Black Ops 3, etc. or Black Ops 4, etc. Horizontal recoil is the recoil that you want to deal with. Vertical recoil is what you can control, because vertical recoil is straight up, you know, got recoil that goes straight up. Horizontal recoil is your side-to-side recoil, which is almost impossible to control on a controller. It's so difficult, and you want to lower that as much as possible. You want every gun to basically just kick up, because then all you got to do is pull back down on the stick. And then finally, the FSS Shark Fin 9, which is aiming idle stability, which is the sway of the gun, which, by the way, does affect your shots this year, okay? It happened in Modern Warfare, and it happens in this game. With the way the gun sways, it will, like, bob side to side, which you can't stop. You want to lower this as much as possible. Otherwise, you're going to be missing shots and wondering how. It's basically the random sway of the gun that you cannot control. So you want to decrease the randomness of your bullets, like not going where you want them to. That's basically the idea of this. And this has no cons, so why would you not run this? It does absolutely nothing wrong to your weapon. And that's it. That is the 74U class. Again, if you guys skip to this part of this video, try this class setup out. As you saw, I got 2 triple gunners with it. I'm sure I'll get even better gameplays with this. I'm still working on getting gold with this. But this is by far and away the best gun in the game, in my personal opinion. So give it a shot, try it out, and I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Feel free to leave a like, leave a comment down below, let me know what you think of the class setup. And let me know as well, any class setups you want to see next. What gun do you want to see next on the channel? I've done the STB, aka the AUG. I've done the AK-74U. I've got one ready for the M4 next, if you guys want to know about that. So I will be doing the M4 next, probably. But let me know down in the comment section below of any weapon that you feel needs a chance or you want to see a class set for, and I will happily work on that for you guys. But I hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and I will see you guys next time. Peace, people. Peace.